At 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, September 28th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for joining us. It's kind of been a busy traffic morning, and so we're going to start in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, guys, really didn't expect to see a lot of issues still lingering around here at 9 a.m., but this is a pretty serious one. Let's get a wider look at TransGuide. Now, our friends over there have told us this is in the eastbound lanes, and you can see right there in the grass. We do have what appears to be some sort of debris from a crash that was reported earlier, maybe even a box truck. Very hard to say. I'll check in with them to see if we can zoom in on the scene there, but you can definitely see from this shot that traffic is moving down just to one lane out there. And this is I-10 East at mile marker 537. We know two of those lanes are at least blocked, according to what I'm seeing from KSAT. This came in sometime after 8 this morning, and no word yet on the extent of any injuries, the details behind this incident, but I have to watch it very closely. As you can see, we have a lot of people that are moving in the eastbound lanes. This is heading into Bernie. So if you're waking up and maybe you plan on hitting the roads and heading out there to Hill Country, you will see some delays for a little while. Now, our map is only picking up a slight slowdown, but remember that from what we're seeing on the TransGuide cameras, it's a pretty significant delay. So just be on the lookout. We'll give our map some time to catch up. But I want to take a drive a little bit further down I-10. We have a crash reported again in the eastbound lanes right near Camp Bullis. Not causing as many delays, but check this out. We're going to take another drive down over here a little further along I-10 eastbound, this time at Hildebrand. We do have a third crash reported, this one a little bit closer to downtown where we have that buildup taking place. Orange and red, never a good sign. And as we give you a wide view of the map, we have a lot more of that to report here. You can still see a lot of the lingering congestion here around the Alamo City, and also some crashes that have occurred off of the main lanes. I'm not too concerned with those as I am with this one along I-10 and the other two crashes I just showed you. I'm going to keep a close eye on it, and if I need to pop in here for another update, I'll definitely do that. But Justin, I mentioned this earlier, it has been a very busy morning out on the roadways. Hopefully you have a little bit more of a quiet start to your day.
Yeah, it sure has been busy. It has been quiet here in the weather department this morning. Not the case yesterday. We had some storms pop up over San Antonio, dropped some heavy rain in spots and a lot of lightning. This is a great shot sent into our KSAT Connect of some cloud to ground lightning there. It was a sight to see. It was really honestly beautiful to get some of that rain and to hear some thunder out there. I don't think we're going to see a similar setup today. There could be a couple showers, but the energy that caused all that yesterday has really passed us by. Right now, 79 degrees at the airport. Things are starting to warm up. 75 in Seguin, 70 in Bernie, 71 Kerrville after starting off in the 60s there. Our forecast today, near 90 by noontime. We should make it up to around 95. We'll call it partly cloudy this afternoon. Yes, there is a 10% chance of rain in there, but it's generally going to be east of I-35. For the most part, I think it's going to be a quiet day. That'll be the case tomorrow, too, before we get a few more very, very small rain chances showing up by the weekend. More on that forecast and more on the extended forecast coming up in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
A U.S. soldier who spent 2 months detained in North Korea is back in U.S. custody. Army Private Travis King will now begin a reintegration process at Brooke Army Medical Center. He arrived in San Antonio this morning. Back in July, the 23-year-old was released from a South Korean prison where he had served time for assault. He then joined a tour of the Korean Demilitarized Zone, which is a border barrier that divides North and South Korea. King then willingly went into North Korea where he was detained. He was found guilty of illegally intruding into North Korean territory and was expelled.
The second Republican presidential primary debate was much more disorderly than the first, with candidates constantly interrupting each other and butting heads over big issues. Political analyst for ABC News says the two strongest performances were from former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott.
After skipping the second GOP presidential debate, frontrunner former President Donald Trump says he's taking the side of union workers in their strike against the big three automakers. He made a speech in Detroit last night saying a transition to producing more electric vehicles will result in fewer jobs for auto workers, a point the UAW agrees with.
Auto workers on strike may be set to expand the picket lines tomorrow. The head of the UAW says additional walkouts will be announced Friday morning if there isn't significant progress in talks with Detroit's Big Three.
Funding for the government expires on Sunday, and right now there's no plan in place to prevent that. The White House is calling on House Republicans to back the Senate's bipartisan stopgap bill that would temporarily keep the government running with a continuing resolution, but some members of the House GOP are not showing any signs of compromise.
On Monday, actors on strike and Hollywood film studios will resume negotiations on a new labor contract. It comes after the Writers Guild of America voted to authorize its members to return to work after reaching a tentative agreement. SAG-AFTRA said regarding its own negotiations, the union is reviewing WGA's agreement and is committed to achieving a fair and just deal for its members.
Regulators say several Kia or Hyundai models can catch fire even when the engine is turned off. That's why they're suggesting that drivers park away from buildings. The recalls cover more than 3 million cars and SUVs from 2010 through 2017. It's the latest in a string of fire-related issues from Hyundai and Kia. You can check on your vehicle's recall status on the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website.
The Powerball jackpot has soared to $925 million after nobody had all the winning numbers last night. And while nobody took home the fourth largest jackpot prize in the game's history, 4 people in 4 states are millionaires. So 4 tickets matched 5 numbers in California, Kansas, Maryland, and Kentucky. The next drawing scheduled for Saturday.
JetBlue is the latest airline to now offer a no-fee guarantee that allows families to sit together. They join 3 other U.S.-based carriers to promise children 13 and younger may sit next to an adult traveling with them on the same reservation for no fee. Passengers who get JetBlue's Blue Basic fare, the airline's version of Basic Economy, are included in the seating policy. And that's today's 9 at 9.
More details about the breaking news overnight of Army Private Travis King returning to the U.S. He is now in the custody of the U.S. Army and being debriefed and medically evaluated here in San Antonio at Brooke Army Medical Center.
King is said to be in good health and good spirits. A family spokesman said King's mother was able to talk to him by phone soon after his release by the North Koreans.
Overjoyed. She got to hear her son's voice and she was thrilled. Just cannot emphasize enough what an impressive accomplishment.
King's release had been secretly facilitated by Sweden and China, and U.S. officials say the North Koreans got nothing in return. But right now, King's future is uncertain.
After being jailed in South Korea for an altercation with locals, King was facing discharge from the Army, and his family said they were worried about his mental state back in August. Now King could face even more trouble.
He's been AWOL for over 60 days. I think the most likely option is Private Travis King will be administratively discharged from the Army.
For now, though, King's family feels only relief and joy having him back on U.S. soil.
The second Republican debate of the 2024 presidential primary season was even more fiery than the first.
7 candidates on stage going head-to-head, not always taking their turns. Some also notably took aim at GOP frontrunner Donald Trump, who again chose not to show up.
ABC's M. Nguyen has a recap of last night's debate and who's believed to have come out the strongest.
Contentious moments and a frenzy of attacks at the second Republican primary debate in Simi Valley, California last night. In a heated war of words, presidential candidates Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy sparred over TikTok after the latter had once called it digital fentanyl.
Part of how we win elections is reaching the next generation of young Americans where they are.
TikTok is one of the most dangerous social media apps that we could have. And what you've got, I honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
The 7 GOP candidates on stage wasted no time going after President Biden's economic policies.
The reason why people are striking in Detroit is because Joe Biden's interference with capital markets and with free markets.
He belongs on the unemployment line.
They also squared off on hot-button issues like border security.
We're going to declare it a national emergency. Yes, we'll build the wall. We'll do remain in Mexico. But those Mexican drug cartels are going to be treated like the foreign terrorist organizations that they are.
And the 14th Amendment.
I favor ending birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal immigrants in this country.
It was certainly written as it relates to slavery, not as it relates to illegal immigration.
Candidates taking aim at former President Trump, who skipped the event again and instead met with auto workers at a non-union plant in Michigan.
You're ducking these things. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
But the GOP frontrunner took to social media to call the former New Jersey governor a bum, and his team calling the debate boring and inconsequential. Our political analysts say the two strongest performances were from Nikki Haley and Tim Scott. Meanwhile, the third presidential debate is set for November 8th in Miami, and former President Trump is already indicating he'll skip it too. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
908, 78 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
A bear crashes a mother and son's special birthday lunch, and the video is amazing to see how calm they both seemed. David Sears has this story and more coming up in your morning headlines. But first,
many are counting down the days for the annular solar eclipse, including UTSA students and staff, how they're making sure everyone gets to experience this. Coming up next.
And checking TransGuide, if you missed Stephen's hit at the top of the newscast, we've got two incidents, both on I-10, both in the eastbound lanes. This is on I-10 heading into Boerne, and you see the scene is in the middle of the freeway. And then we have one much closer to downtown. This is 10 eastbound at Hildebrand. SAPD is on the scene. We'll be back. With just a few weeks until the annual solar eclipse, UTSA, or annular, I believe, UTSA is collaborating with Harvard and building devices to make the eclipse more accessible to people who are blind or visually impaired.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from UTSA's main campus with a team putting this all together. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Take a look. They want to build hundreds of these. We have Allison with Harvard to talk more about this unique project. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. Tell me about how this project started.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm an astronomer at Harvard, and I manage the lab and telescopes that we use for teaching. And so I was collaborating with a colleague who was at the Center for Astrophysics at the time, Wanda Diaz-Merced. She's a blind astronomer, and she uses sonification for her research, so it converts light to sound, data to sound. And so this was back in 2017 when the Great American Solar Eclipse was happening. So we started thinking about how do we engage the public and students, everyone in the eclipse, and so we came up with this idea. Let's build a sonification tool, a very inexpensive, cheap tool that you can build. So we had a colleague at Harvard, Daniel Davis, who kind of poofed up a prototype, and we went from there. And so now we had, these are some photos from the 2019-2020 eclipse, which happened in South America. And so these are some of the experiences that folks had. You can use it as a single device, or you can use it connected to a speaker. So you either have headsets or a speaker, and you can project it to an audience. And now we're preparing for the big eclipses in America.
Very exciting. Can you show us how it works?
Sure. So just turn it on here. So this one's just connected to these speakers, and this is a light sensor. So as we dim the light, it might happen in an eclipse, you'll hear the sound start to change. And so this might be what you hear in total eclipse. Just a few clicks, and then as we come out, you'll start to hear the sound change. And so really this is just another way to engage with the eclipse. It's not all visual, it's just data. So here's if I put light on it, let's see, it'll get brighter.
That's amazing. What's the reaction like for those that have used this device?
Yeah, that's why we keep going with this project. We've gotten such positive feedback, just like wonderful, inclusive experience for folks. Like, I love this picture on the top here. It's at La Portada Stadium in La Serena, Chile. And the cool thing is that there's thousands of people here, and you can just have a listening station. So up here, if I can go, this is the device connected to a speaker, and there's a listening group. So we have just, these people engaging in the same way that others are engaging. So, whether you're blind, visually impaired, or sighted, you can engage with sound.
I love this project. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have Lindsay here with UTSA. Good morning, Lindsay. Just tell us briefly about the workshop happening today.
Good morning. So yes, today we have about maybe 20 participants that are going to be making these light sounds boxes. Our workshop is from 10 to 4, and the workshop includes students, a few grad students, and some faculty.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to bring you more and hear from the students that are taking part in this project. We'll send it back to you. I know Justin's over there so happy about this exciting project.
Yeah.
We are excited about the annular eclipse, and selfishly, I got to say, this is something I did not think of, but for someone who's visually impaired, this is an incredible idea. I'm so glad they're doing it.
Yeah, they can experience it as well.
Absolutely.
Outside right now, full sunshine over San Antonio International Airport, right around 80 degrees. And where are we headed temperature-wise today, Justin?
Right back where we have been, basically the whole month of September, mid-90s is what we're talking today. There's not really a cool down in the 7-day forecast yet. But as we look beyond that, there are some indications that maybe fall's starting to get going.
Especially if it has that dance move.
You like that?
Yeah.
Whatever works. Whatever works.
Yeah, I probably should never do that again. Let's take a look at October, because October is on our doorstep. And what does October generally look like when we're talking average temperatures? 87 is the average high. The average low is 65 when we start the month. Look at the end of the month, though. 77 is the average high. 55 is the average low. We've been stuck in the 70s for lows, so anything in the 60s or 50s sounds amazing at this point. We'll probably get there. But October, I should let you know that we have been as high as 99. That happened in October 12th of 1991. And we've been as low as 27. That was on October 31st, 1933. So it just goes to show you there's extremes in the month as well. It's another transition month. We start to get fronts, and obviously that makes a big difference. But we do know that once we start to get to the month of October, things should start to change. 79 right now. Calm winds, dew point is at 72, still fairly humid. Any sort of morning cloudiness is east of San Antonio. Got a few spotty clouds down there around Beeville and Gonzales, but nothing here in San Antonio right now. Clear skies where we are, and I suspect we'll see some clouds pop up this afternoon, but none of which that will produce any rain, at least here in town. 71 in Kerrville, 76 in Hondo, 79 in New Braunfels, and around Bexar County right now. We're in the low 80s with some mid-70s over towards Rio Medina and Helotes. High temperatures today, mid-90s, 96 in Forestville, 96 in Pleasanton, 94 Canyon Lake, 91 in Bernie. And here's a look at the water vapor. We have a system that's a piece of energy that's moving east out of the area. And that is what helped to create those showers and storms yesterday. It's now moving away. And so that's kind of taking the energy with it. Behind it, we get the drier air. That orange and red color is what represents that sort of more stable air. And that's why I think our rain chances are pretty much gone today, other than if you're east of I-35. That's where we could see a little bit of activity this afternoon. Showers and storms in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that, but most of Texas is pretty quiet. So our forecast today, we'll see, again, a couple showers closer to the coast. This is around 4 o'clock. And then as we head into tomorrow, I really don't think we see anything at all, other than maybe just a stray shower closer to the coast. It's Saturday where the showers that develop along the coast may make a run for San Antonio. That would be a Saturday afternoon. And the chances there are still pretty low. We're talking 10% at best. Very quickly, we got to talk about the reservoir levels. They're all doing really bad. Amistad's at 34%, down 51 feet. Medina at 4%, down 87 feet. Canyon Lake, which we've talked about a lot now, 65% down 18 feet. That is a record low. And we put out that story yesterday. Caves are being exposed. You can actually see the caves that used to be underwater. So pretty incredible stuff. Choke Canyon's at 27%. And as we look at the futurecast, big picture here, we do get a dip in the jet stream out west. This will bring some unsettled weather to the west coast. It tries to work east, but it just does not have a whole lot of effect on us here. Good news is that's a sign that we're starting to see changes in the upper parts of the atmosphere. We're starting to see that jet stream dip a little bit. And so it's encouraging. And as I said, beyond this 7-day forecast, there are some signs that maybe things are starting to percolate, and fall's trying to make her entry down here towards Texas. We'll see.
That would put some wind in our hair for sure.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, Justin, thank you very much. 9:20 right now, 79 degrees.
New generations always come up with their own new lingo, and now some of those words are being added to the dictionary. David Sears is going to update his vocabulary in this morning's headlines when we come back. Look out there with TransGuide again. Still a holdup after the crash there at I-10 at Bernie. Again, this is westbound, and so very slow moving.
Eastbound lanes.
Oh, sorry, eastbound.
Yes, ma'am. But this is heading into Bernie to just kind of give you a better idea of where exactly this is. The other incident we were looking at, I-10 eastbound, close to downtown at Hildebrand, has now cleared. Whole different situation out there, a bit of a game changer. 80 morning headlines. If you're a member of Gen X, you need to save more money, and the really hot iPhone 15.
Plus some new words, and it was not porridge, but a bear did find some very tasty enchiladas. David Sears is here with your morning headlines.
Because enchiladas are tasty.
Are tasty.
Yes.
They are.
Dude just interrupted a lunch.
Aw.
I'll have that for you in just a second. But first, let's start with this. Have you checked your retirement savings account lately? Here's some interesting news. If you are a Gen Xer, that would be those of you who are in your 40s and 50s, you're not saving enough. The median amount saved by that generation so far, $40,000. That's it. That is according to the National Institute on Retirement Security. That generation makes up about a fifth of the U.S. population. If you fall into the older part of that generation, like your 50s, some might have a pension plan to help supplement the savings and Social Security. If you are in your early stages of that group, the good news is you still have some time to sock away some money for retirement. However, a good number of you may have to keep working longer, like you won't be able to retire until you're around 70. Hey, one of the hottest items on the cell phone market, the iPhone 15 Pro. When we say hot, we mean hot, like it's so hot you can hardly touch it. The Wall Street Journal did a test and found out the phone literally gets hot, and some owners of that phone have posted reviews that reflects that study. Nothing from Apple about that, though. Hey, it's been hard to bear over the last few months, but we finally got our favorite Wild Kingdom animal story. That's a bear inviting himself to lunch, family having a picnic, and the guy decides he's going to join in on some enchiladas, some fries, and some tacos. Mom is shielding her son, you can see right up there. It's happening at a park in Mexico, and that's a black bear, and that is Mom protecting her son Santiago, who has Down syndrome. You can see Sylvia shielding his eyes from the bear because the poor guy is afraid of animals. She didn't want him to scream or run or scare the bear. Mom said the bear got so close to him they could hear him chewing. She finally got a plate of food, tossed it. The bear got off the table, went after it. Apparently got a hankering for some good enchiladas, which is a good thing. The whole ordeal lasted about 4 minutes. Mom and Santiago got away safely. The young guy said he was very afraid. I can only imagine. Look at the bear, though. The bear's like, I just want the enchiladas. Those are good. Apparently, Mom makes some good enchiladas and some good tacos and some good fries.
And it was his birthday.
All right, here we go. I ain't chillin' or just a cool dude. I'm bussin'. I am bussin'. That means I'm extremely good or excellent. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean, look at you.
Yeah, look, I'm bussin'.
Bussin'.
Dude.
Look at you.
Justin's hair was bussin' a while ago. Just cool. Dude has some good hair, man. He's bussin'. Here we go.
True.
That's
Okay.
a new word coming out in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Look it up. They have released new words for this year, 690 of them,
That's
plus
a lot.
acronyms and definitions have all been added to the dictionary. The dictionary is getting thick. Yes, bussin' is one of the words in the dictionary. It's a slang word. NGL.
Okay.
Not gonna lie.
Not going to lie. Heard of that before, obviously.
Okay, also on the list, chef's kiss. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Then there's grammable.
Oh, yeah.
See, you're bussin'. If you're bussin', you're probably grammable.
Yeah.
Got some
You're
video.
already grammable.
Yeah, so that means you can like put it on Instagram.
Goes hand
Cool
in
enough.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How about generative AI? I don't know what that means. Thirst trap.
Thirst trap.
If you like taking pictures of yourself and posting them so you can get a lot of attention, then it's a thirst trap.
Well, we hear a lot of that during No Shave November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So just keep that trend going, David.
And then there's forever chemical.
Right.
I would throw that in there. Serious, a toxic substance and especially a synthetic chemical that persists and accumulates in the environment. And then my favorite, girl boss.
Girl boss.
Because I got lots of girl bosses in my life.
Aw.
That's pretty much self-explanatory. Girl boss.
Right, yeah.
So, you know.
Of course.
We know that your wife's the boss.
We're about to hear from one of them. She's going to say rap. Watch this.
She hasn't yet. She just wants you to go.
She's like, keep up with the girl
enjoying this.
boss.
She's ignoring me now.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of being a girl boss.
Right.
You ignore the
So
guy.
you'll be bussin' if you create a thirst trap that is absolutely grammable, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
And then present it to your girl boss.
And if the girl boss likes it,
Right.
you're okay.
Yeah, you gotta go by her
Some of my
first.
posts are forever chemicals. What do you call them?
Yeah.
Forever chemical.
Yeah, forever.
Forever chemical.
And it's all NGL.
Yeah. Now she wants us to go, I'm sure. David, thank you.
Thanks.
928, 80 degrees.
Busting on out of
Not
here.
a thing from her.
I know, you just were.
We'll be
Is
right
your
back.
mouth open, Alex? Or are you just...
She's in awe. Oh, she's working.
She's working. Ah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Overpaid
back.
anchors going to break. Folks, as we began the newscast, we were hearing rumors of a plane crash in northwest Bexar County. We were waiting to get confirmation, and now we have it.
That's right. We have Leon Springs Fire Department Chief Craig Ramon called back and confirmed that. He said that the fire department was dispatched around 8:37 this morning.
This was out at Bernie Stage Field in northwest Bexar County, right off I-10. The call was for an aircraft emergency. They arrived to find a single aircraft that had been landed, and the pilot apparently had lost control.
So the plane made impact with the hangar, and there's no threat of fire or any fluids leaking right now.
The pilot was already out of the small private plane when they arrived. He's an 85-year-old man and apparently is a Bernie resident.
That's right. We're told that he was transported by ambulance to University Hospital in stable condition. They said he was doing practice flights this morning.
Now there's, we understand, moderate damage to the aircraft and to a building out there at Bernie Stage Field. This is an ongoing investigation.
So local authorities tell us that they're waiting for the FAA to arrive and to the scene there, and then that will be released to them.
No other information at this time, but again, reports of a small plane down in an incident at Bernie Stage Field in northwest Bexar County. We'll pass along more information as we get it. Look for more in our later newscasts and online at KSAT.com. It's other news that the Art Institutes are closing their remaining 8 campuses around the country, including the one here in San Antonio, has left hundreds of students scrambling to find a new school.
The Art Institute system has struggled in recent years, and the school lost its accreditation in 2015, had to deal with fraud allegations, and closed nearly 20 other campuses back in 2018.
2 of its current students spoke to our John Paul Barajas about the potential setback.
My heart just sank because it was so unreal, right? Because it made it almost feel like the last 3 years at that school was for nothing.
Caleb Adams was set to graduate from the Art Institutes in January. Now he's among hundreds of students across the country worried about what's next because their college is closing.
Like, I was shaking because I was so confused. It all just hit me at once that I don't know where to go from here.
The Art Institute system says its 8 campuses will close September 30th. Students were notified via email on September 22nd, a little over a week in advance. A statement on their website says, quote, "We encourage you to complete your education at another school. The Art Institutes are working with numerous partners to facilitate student transfers." End quote.
The fact that they only gave us 1 week, it's sketchy. It's sketchy.
Students are being encouraged to order their transcripts to transfer schools, but there are questions about whether other schools will accept the credits they've earned from the for-profit college.
It's enough of a loss and a setback that I would reconsider.
Do you think that would be you kind of giving up on a potential dream because of the setback, or?
Absolutely.
The Art Institute has reportedly suffered from low enrollment since the pandemic. We called the Art Institute to ask about the decision to close.
Hello, and thank you for calling the Art Institute of San Antonio.
We've left 3 separate numbers voicemails. We also tried going in person, but doors were locked.
Having to start over, it's probably one of the worst feelings, you know. Feel real sucky.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Look out there with live cam. Went out in my break and not too bad, but looks like we're just getting a little warmer. 80 degrees now, Justin.
Yeah, things are starting to jump up temperature-wise. It is an ozone action day, so I'll let you know that. The air quality, there's going to be a little more ozone today, so those who are sensitive to that kind of thing, heads up. We see these every now and then. I want to show you the temperatures across the country. 53 in Seattle, 42 in Cut Bank. That's where a lot of the cool air continues to be up across the Pacific Northwest. And some of that cool air will spill a little bit further south, but we're certainly not feeling it here in Texas. Temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, and we continue to be one of the hot spots, honestly, in the entire country. 79 here in San Antonio, it's 80 in Corpus Christi. You do find some cooler weather up in the Texas Panhandle where the air is drier. They're allowed to fall into the 60s this morning. We certainly did not see 60s here in San Antonio. Heading out to the football games tonight. Looks good. 92 at kickoff, 89 at halftime. Albeit a little bit warm, but partly cloudy skies. Not a bad night for football. That'll be the case again tomorrow night as well. And don't forget, we're just 16 days away from the annular solar eclipse. We've talked a lot about it, but it will be headed our way Saturday, October 14th. Of course, the big thing to remember here is if there's clouds, yeah, it'll get a little bit darker outside, but you won't really get to see it. So as we're all going to be looking very closely at that cloud forecast as we get a little bit closer to the event. And of course, you need glasses the entire time, even at full annularity. When that moon's right in front of the sun, you get the ring of fire. You're still going to need glasses to look at it those special protective glasses. So keep that in mind. We're going to have a lot of information, a lot more on this eclipse coming up here over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Again, a reminder, we have an accident coming into Boerne on I-10 eastbound as you approach Boerne and getting closer to San Antonio. Looks like the shoulder is closed, maybe one lane. Everybody's slowing down in that area just to take a look and then moving on.
And everyone seems to be bracing for a government shutdown. If lawmakers are unable to reach an agreement on funding, the shutdown would begin at midnight Sunday.
ABC News contributing political correspondent Rachel Bade looks at the potential human cost of the spending fight.
This week, Congress in the midst of another self-inflicted crisis, one that could inflict financial and emotional pain on millions of Americans absent an 11th hour deal. For some elected officials, the looming government shutdown is a political game of chicken, an opportunity to cater to their constituents and win concessions from the other party. This time, House Republicans demanding steep spending cuts and a U.S.-Mexico border crackdown to leave the lights on. But for Willie Jo Price, a cafeteria worker in the Library of Congress, it's a missed paycheck, one that threatens her ability to pay her bills.
People just like me. It's a lot out here just like me. Living paycheck to paycheck and can't afford to do anything, you know, and then the government shut down. And like I say, the government will go back and they're going to get paid. We're not going to get anything.
Price is far from alone. Starting at 12:01 a.m. on October 1st, as many as 4 million federal workers could be furloughed without pay. 1.3 million active duty military service members, as well as law enforcement officials and TSA agents, will be asked to show up at their posts despite their salaries being frozen.
Employees now live paycheck to paycheck. So one missed check can affect them in many different ways, from child care to whether or not they have gas to go to work, to and from work, having a lunch.
National parks and passport offices inside federal buildings could close. New clinical trials for cancer and other life-saving research could be delayed, and travelers could see potential disruptions at the airport as air traffic controllers, already short-staffed, feel the squeeze even more. As the clock ticks down, federal employees infuriated at lawmakers for playing recklessly with their livelihoods.
I just can't believe we're going down this road again. This should never even become an issue that our military families have to worry about a paycheck.
The fiscal face-off coming as the nation is grappling with inflation. Meanwhile, here in the nation's capital, lawmakers still receiving a nearly $175,000 taxpayer-funded salary, despite failing to do Congress's most basic duty laid out in the Constitution: fund the government.
During the last government shutdown in 2018, images of unpaid federal workers standing in line at food banks infuriated the nation and eventually led former President Donald Trump to cave on his border wall demands and reopen the government. Now, many are hopeful that it will not come to this point this time around, but given the gridlock we see in Washington right now, it's increasingly likely. Rachel Bade, ABC News, Washington.
9:40, 80 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
And we're getting an inside look at the newly renovated Civic Park. What all has inside of it to help keep park goers cool while it's still hot out there.
Good morning, welcome back. After months of construction downtown, take a look. Civic Park at Hemisphere is now open.
RJ Marcus checked out the park and tells us what you can expect when you take the family or your four-legged friend out to Hemisphere.
Take a stroll through Civic Park at Hemisphere and you see a mix of waterways, walkways, and green space.
Now that people are actually walking and moving through the space, it feels like home.
The park sits on 7 acres of land along East Nueva Street at Yanaguana Garden. It has more than 130 trees and the Great Lawn, which will host events and concerts.
The Great Lawn was made for people to come with their big picnic blankets and enjoy the beautiful green grass that we will have year-round.
Well, we all know it's been very hot this summer here in San Antonio, and Civic Park has several trees, a lot of shade for everyone that wants to come out. But one of the coolest things, literally, are these water springs. They are safe for wading, and this is quality, safe water, even safe enough for the family dog.
Our dog is like a water dog. She loves the water.
Priscilla Sanchez and her partner are already taking advantage of the park and cooling off with their dog, Punky.
It's so convenient to be able to live here in the heart of downtown, especially with all these new buildings coming up and parks. We just step outside and we have so much entertainment, so many events, so many festivals.
This is just the first phase of Civic Park. The second phase is expected to be completed by next year. It's on the north end and will have more trees and a plaza called the Zócalo. all part of the transformation at Hemisphere.
Here we are at the precipice of this new generation of San Antonians to enjoy, to make new memories.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there.
Let's check. Where are they?
This is supposed to be Hippocam.
Yeah, nice shady spot again.
Yeah, I'm going to take a closer look.
Top right. Their back is sticking out of the water. It blends in, our producer says.
I can kind of see it there.
Okay, all right.
They're trying to stay cool. I
We're
don't
just
blame them.
happy to have a nice, different view out there at the San Antonio Zoo, where it's always a great day to stop by and visit the animals at our excellent zoo.
Yeah, and when it's hot outside, this is cool to see because you can go inside to a little AC area.
You're right.
Plexiglass look through kind of thing.
Yeah,
They
it's
come up
super
right into the
cool.
glass.
And they're smiling at you and everything.
You know, waving, hi.
And they're lucky too because you see their little area there. It's shaded and they have water.
Yeah.
So they stay cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, they
That's a win.
It's a win-win.
That's the hottest, coolest time in Texas.
That area, the zoo.
Yeah, today is a decent day to go to the zoo. It'll be a little warm this afternoon. It's been nice though this morning, and we got to talk about September. It has been a rough summer in the sense that we had above average temperatures, we had records set left and right, and now it's looking like September is going to go down in the record books as the hottest September on record for San Antonio. Pretty incredible. If you average out, if we were to end September today, our average temperature would be 87.3. And that is enough for first place by a pretty big margin, actually. When you're talking averages, to be about 2 degrees above the next one is pretty huge. And so I think we stay in the first place spot. Obviously, we got a few days left to September. But, man, I was really hoping September would bring us some cooler weather. It has not. Another record. And so you look at the records that we've set this year. And these are just a few because there are many more. But hottest summer on record. August was the hottest month ever that San Antonio's seen since records have been kept. Longest stretch of 100-degree days, most 105-degree days in a year, 31 record highs, and now we're going to add to the list the hottest September on record. August, September, and July was the second hottest on record. So we just set records left and right here. Hopefully this all changes as we get into October. We showed you the climatology last half hour. Hopefully October finally brings us some cooler weather. Starting to see a few clouds out there. Temperatures at 79 degrees at the airport. Seguin's at 75. Kerrville's at 75 after being in the upper 60s this morning. And dew points are really pretty elevated this morning. Part of that is because we did get a little bit of rain yesterday. There's probably still some moisture in the soil, but in general, it's going to be fairly humid today and tomorrow, and probably going into the weekend before dew points drop off a little bit. We were hoping they'd be lower this weekend. That does not look to be the case anymore. And as we look at the forecast here, there's enough humidity to get some showers going on the coast today. But I don't think we see anything here in San Antonio. And then tomorrow should be pretty quiet too. We're not looking for any rain. Saturday, though, as we get some moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, there could be a few showers that make a run at San Antonio. That being said, 10% chance of rain both Saturday and Sunday. So we're not going to worry about it too much. Temperatures stay pretty consistent in the mid-90s. Today, 89, and our high temperature is 95. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then tonight, still warm, even through 8 o'clock. So if you're going out to any of the Thursday night football games, no, it will still be pretty warm. And just to recap, those rain chances, 10%. That's all we can get you Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Certainly not as good as what we were looking at yesterday. In the tropics, we still have two systems here, and I've had soon-to-be Rena for like 2 days now because we keep thinking this is going to become a named storm. It has not. All the conditions are there, but I think one of the problems it's having is that it's so close to Philippe, it's kind of sucking away a lot of the energy. So Philippe looks weaker, and these things just aren't moving. There's not a lot of movement here. So the longer they sit there, honestly, the lower their chances are to develop. But Philippe's just kind of going to go around in a circle here and weaken. Well, maybe at least a little bit. It's still forecast to be a tropical storm. And then this system, if it does get a name, would just kind of meander north. Doesn't look like these will have any big effects on the United States, at least not anytime soon. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I don't think there's a lot to worry about there. 96 Friday, 94 Saturday, 93 Sunday. There's those small chances of rain we talked about. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mid-90s. And all morning long, we've been talking about beyond this forecast, because this forecast is, let's be honest, this doesn't look great. We're tired of the 90s. Beyond that, the models continue to kind of hint at some cooler air coming down the plains, some actual cold fronts, perhaps, and some rain too. It's not a guarantee. Models beyond 7 days are generally not very good. but just the trend that we're starting to see some of that is a good thing.
Good trend. And I'm aware that the slogan's from Schlitterbahn. It's just here in town, and I was still thinking that it was a pretty hot, cool time.
That's true.
Yeah, for the hippos.
For the hippos at the San Antonio Zoo. 10 till 10, 81 degrees.
A new version of The Bachelor premieres tonight, and we're getting an inside look of who the newest Bachelor is after the break.
A new era of The Bachelor begins tonight, but the main focus is still on finding love.
ABC's Rena Roy introduces us to Jerry Turner, the Golden Bachelor.
I'm feeling a little anxious and a little nervous.
It's a new twist on a classic show. After 20 years of The Bachelor on ABC, 71-year-old Gary Turner is the first Golden Bachelor.
So it's huge.
Turner married his high school sweetheart Tony in 1974. They had 2 daughters and 2 granddaughters. After 43 years of marriage, Tony suddenly fell ill and passed away in 2017. With the support of his family, Turner is ready to find love again. He says his daughters have given him helpful advice.
They've told me to approach this experience with an open mind. Don't have preconceived notions. Don't go into it locked into a certain style, a certain type of person, but to be open. And that's really good advice.
22 women aged 60 and older will step into the spotlight, hoping to find love with the Golden Bachelor.
I want someone with high energy. I want someone who's a good communicator. I want someone who is trustworthy beyond question. I want someone with good life experiences, someone who's really intelligent in areas that maybe I'm not.
Turner says that he's hoping to change some misconceptions about people of a certain age.
There's a certain stereotype that we've slowed down mentally and physically, and we don't accept challenges like we used to. And that's something I really want to change opinion on.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Quick check of the roads with TransGuide. Now things look a lot better right there at I-10. This is going towards Bernie. There's still, you can see remnants of that crash right there, but you are able to get through if you're headed that way.
And temperatures are warming up pretty quickly now. We'll be around 95 this afternoon. Very, very small chance for a shower today. That is the case over the weekend, too. Otherwise, this is a pretty boring end to September. Hopefully, October brings some changes for us and some cooler weather.
We mentioned earlier in the newscast that there was a small plane incident out of Bernie Stage Field in Northwest Bexar County. We now have our first picture coming in from the scene. Again, a small plane apparently had an incident landing earlier and crashed up against or near a hangar there at Bernie Stage Field.
Yeah, this happened about 8:37 this morning, and it came in as an aircraft emergency. We do know that the pilot was an 85-year-old man, a birding resident.
That's right. We understand he's in serious but stable condition. There was an impact with the hangar, but there's no threat of fire or any other injuries reported. We'll continue to follow this story as it continues to develop.
We'll keep you updated. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day.